Welcome to MenStyleFashion.
Thank you.
Well, can you tell the world who you are and what you do?
I am Heitmann, and I'm a professional poker player and poker expert.
Let's talk about your ranking first.
Oh, my ranking, that's really hard to say because there's 300 million people playing poker worldwide, and it's difficult to rank all of those because well, there's so many different variations of poker. I would consider myself a good, say, Premier League player.
Okay.
If you compare it to soccer, I'm probably not one of the world's top stars when you go to the World Cup of soccer.
Okay, well, not yet.
Not yet.
How did you get into it?
I started playing poker about 20 years ago. A long time,
okay.
And the poker boom happened around 2003 when I was finished with my studies, and a career developed out of that. So I got very lucky with the timing.
2015, what's happening there for you?
Lots of tournaments. I am branching out a little bit. I'm doing more poker expert stuff, so I'm commentating on TV. I am coaching some celebrities on German TV how to play poker, and I'm also doing talks in companies because a lot of the decisions that you do at the poker table you can actually use in management decisions, business decisions, and all other decision making in life, really.
Am I right? A lot of it is mental.
Yes, it is.
Can you talk us a little bit about that? With some of your tips, you know.
Poker is a very complex mental game. I mean, basically you're sitting down at the table, you're trying to get into the head of the opponent, trying to figure out his strategy, and then find a counter strategy to win all his chips.
Do you feel it? You know it? It's a body language, you know?
It's a mixture of, I always say it's a mixture of art and science. Like there's lots of science involved, there's mathematics involved, there's complex calculations that you do at the table and away from the table, but there's also an aspect of art because you really want to get inside the opponent's head. And if you can use body language for that, or psychology or image, that really helps. So you have a lot of maneuvering room within the mathematical range that you can play and start to outplay your opponent.
Sounds like my business meetings this week. It's been really intense. Let's talk about Stetson.
Yes.
What's your association with it and why?
Stetson approached me 2 years ago, me and the 3 other poker players, to find the faces for the new campaign. They had gambling themed. Oh no, it's something new. Gambling.
We'll get that later.
They had a gambling-themed collection coming up, and they wanted to find some gamblers, and they came to the poker players.
How powerful are you for them as an image and a marketing tool?
Well, hopefully very powerful. I mean, there's lots and lots of poker players in the world, and a lot of them wear hats at the table.
Why? What is that? Yeah.
It's a little bit to conceal your face and maybe to conceal your facial tics or something like that, but it's really more about fashion.
Okay, let's talk about your personal style. MenStyleFashion was formed by me out of frustration. I'm like, what's going on with this image? So, how important is your image because you're in the public eye?
I am in the public eye. I mean, I do a lot of interviews for poker media and that sort of thing, so I like to dress well. I also consider each and every tournament that I go to a big, chance and a big opportunity.
Right.
So I like to dress up for the occasion, especially when there's a final table that I'm at. Because then there's going to be TV cameras. There's going to be, there's going to be a show about poker. So you want to dress nicely.
I know I can't. Why? What does it do? What can it do to a man that dresses well? I know the answer.
I think you gain a lot of respect. I mean, there's lots of poker players that just dress very comfortably. They dress in, like running gear and sweaters and that sort of thing, which is fine. I mean, if you're playing for 12 hours in a tournament, you should feel comfortable and you really want to be at your best and to focus. So if dressing comfortably helps, that's fine. But I also think that, bringing a little bit of style to the poker player gives you a better image, gives you a higher standing at the table. People, they don't just look over you, they see you and you represent something.
An intimidation game, I think.
A little bit, yes.
I'm building a brand and I always ask your David versus Goliath moment. Something incredibly challenging in your career and how you got through it.
As a poker player, really you face a lot of challenges every day because poker is a game where the luck factor, or as we like to call it, the variance, is pretty high. So every day you might end up losing, and it happens a lot. I mean, even the best poker player in the world probably loses about 50 maybe 40% of his sessions if he's really, really good. And especially in tournament poker, you have to, know how to deal with defeat. Because unless you win the tournament, you're always going out at some point. Even if you get second place, you still busted the tournament.
Right.
So you go home and you feel defeated, and you have to stand up the next day and play the next tournament.
Right.
So there's a lot of David versus Goliath moments, especially with the tournament field being this big. I mean, there's 1,500 people participating in a regular tournament. There's up to 6,500 people participating in the biggest tournament of the world. So you do not expect to win that.
Right.
Against 6,500 people, it's really, really unlikely that you're going to win. Still, you get there, you're trying to do your best. The key to that, I think, in poker especially, but also in life, is not to be too result-oriented. You want to make sure that your decisions, that you make the best decision at the time, and then the results come or they don't come. There's lots of parallels to the business world, because if you make a decision and it's a great decision at the time, and then something bad happens that you have no influence over, you should not question your decision making. You should still work on making a good decision the next time that you're in that situation, and then just just hope for the long run to bring the results to you.
Oh, you're really ministering to me. Who's your inspiration in poker?
There's a few people. One of my closest friends in real life, but I met him through poker, is George Dancer.
Wow.
He's a very good German player who just won the WSOP, the World Series of Poker Player of the Year award, which is insanely hard to do. And he won 3 championship bracelets this year alone in the World Series of Poker. And besides being a phenomenal poker player, he's also one of the nicest human beings you can think of. So he's a good guy.